Hey guys, what's going on? This is Deadly, and today we're going to be talking about some new features in DayZ that have yet to be confirmed when they're going to be released, but are in the game files and uploaded to the DayZ Trello. A link to that is in the description box below. I highly recommend that you guys check out the DayZ Trello every now and again just to see what's new. And I noticed that just a week and a half ago, Brian Hicks uploaded a lot of new files to the Trello. So I'm going to be sharing you guys some of those files that were uploaded and also discuss some of their impacts on the game. Let's start off with some of the new non-lethal weapons that were added to the Trello. This is some of the first times we were actually seeing the dart gun with full render, and it comes with two different colors, green and black. And by the looks of things, you're also going to be able to tell how much CO2 you have left in your tank with the giant gauge on the back. So I'm assuming that you're going to have to also go around finding the CO2 cartridges as well as the darts. So you'll only be able to shoot the weapon a few times before you have to reload on that CO2. Very cool. And I know a lot of you hero players out there have been looking for a non-lethal solution for a long time that is reliable and accurate. And this is definitely going to be there for you. I'm sure there's going to be lots of fun videos created with this gun. I'm looking forward to it. And right next to the dart gun, the tranquilizer gun, we obviously had the Taser. This is something that we've known was going to be happening and coming to the game for quite some time, but this is probably the highest resolution render that we've seen to date. It's going to be fairly simple. You're going to have to go find the cartridges around the world, use it at a short distance. You'll be able to tase and unconscious your target, making it really easy to mess around with people on the coast or sneaking up to somebody at a military base. Maybe you just want to steal their beans or have something a little bit more interesting than just shooting them, but this is also pretty cool, and I hope that these are really common, especially in police stations. I would love to see these non-lethal weapons, not rare, but just as common as regular firearms and pistols in civilian locations. Maybe the dart gun being a little bit more rare than the Taser, but I would love to see both of these additions used on a frequent basis, just like some of the firearms, giving us some options. Alright guys, let's move on to some of the more lethal options that were uploaded to the Trello. This is a render for the 5.56 Scout Sniper Rifle that will be spawning at UHY-1 Yankee helicopters around the world. And this is probably one of the most hyped weapons to date for DayZ and one of the most anticipated weapons. So I would love for them to upload it very soon. Developers, come on, we've been looking for this for quite some time. A Nato sniper rifle in the game. Also looks like it's going to be using magazines as well. I can see some space in the receiver there. And I'm pumped for this because in the current build of DayZ, 5.56 is actually extremely common at helicopter crashes, and you can find them inside of ammo crates, like a full box of ammo inside of a helicopter. Pretty awesome. So using one of these weapons, it's not going to be as powerful obviously as the 308, but it's still going to have some serious knockout power like the 5.56 does. So I'm really looking forward to this. Super excited. Next, we have a larger image of the M249. You can see the gun being stripped down with all of its attachments and its belt. It looks like this gun, you're going to have to find the ammo. Obviously, I believe it's 5.56. You're going to have to find the ammo box, which might be full, just like the drum mag. But I think they might take it a step further, and you might have to feed the ammo into the belt, put the belt into the box, put the box into the gun. They're going to have to do some balancing with these massive light machine guns. Not only are they going to be eating up a lot of ammo, and keep in mind in a game like DayZ, ammo can be hard to find in mass. So a weapon like this is going to be chewing through 5.56. And like I just said before, although you can find ammo crates for a sniper rifle or a carbine, which, 30 round magazines, I'm assuming 5 or 10 round magazines for the Scout, this thing is going to have like 100+ rounds ripping through it. So yeah, I don't really know how well that's going to do, but light machine guns, very scary to see, and I'm actually really excited for that suppression role going to be introduced into the game, more so than it is now. I know a lot of people have been looking forward to this gun for quite some time as well. Next, let's move on to the PKM. It's going to be one scary light machine gun, because this thing isn't shooting 5.56, it's shooting 7.62 by 54R, the same round that's going through the Mosin gun and the SVD. This is going to be extremely scary, but if the ammo box comes full of ammo, it's going to be very nice for people who use the Mosin gun like me or the SVD, because you can just go around looking for boxes for these things and fill up your guns. But Man, this is going to be a crazy gun. It's probably going to be a game changer. I can only imagine the recoil whenever you're going to be using this standing still or crouched. You're going to have to go prone to maintain accuracy with this thing. Don't know if the bipod is going to be on there by default or it's going to be an attachment that you're going to have to find. We'll have to see how that goes. I'm assuming it's going to be on there by default, but insanely excited for this thing. It's going to be one of the scariest weapons you'll ever hear at the Northwest Airfield, that's for sure. We also have a look at the Mini Uzi, and it's all shiny and roughed up, ready to go. I mean, the Uzi, it's an Uzi. I mean, it's going to be a nice weapon, but we already have like the MP5 and the UMP and the AKS and the Scorpion and the PM73 rack. So this is just going to be yet another option added to the game. I'm not extremely excited for the Uzi. It's not something that I'm like super pumped, but I mean, it's going to be nice to find it at like I'm assuming police station or something like that down the road. And it might be taking up around the same amount of slots as like the PM73 rack. So that might be nice to see. Who knows? You might be able to get a lot of cool attachments for it as well. But more diversity in the weapons is always a good thing. So you can see a lot of different people running around with some different stuff. Next, we also have the server queue picture. Now, I forgot to include this in my last video for new features, but you will be able to see your position in queue on the screen. Thought that was just pretty cool and wanted to include it anyway. We also have a look at the brand new Sarka sedan, which is going to be a 4-door and yellow by default. Very cool way of like opening up the engine bonnet and the trunk. Just another vehicle. I know you guys are super hyped for all the cars in the game, so just adding another option and more vehicles is a good thing. So I really want to see more of that. And speaking of vehicles, let's move on. We're done of talking about weapons for a little bit. They have added a brand new, looks like car battery, a nickel cadmium battery. But I don't know if this is going to be, it doesn't really look like a traditional car battery. So I don't know if it's going to be for the multi-car or if it's going to be for the new sedan. But it also looks like it has a plug there, which could be used for generating power inside of camps and stashes for lights and other things. So I don't know, maybe you'll charge these up at generators or using your vehicles, and then they'll have like multiple purposes to them. Not too sure how it's going to work. In addition to that, we also have hydraulic fluid and also some engine oil that are added to the game. So more things you're going to have to worry about whenever you're working on building your vehicles. One of the things about cars that I would love to see is making them extremely common, but just having people to work so hard on building them. Vehicles in the apocalypse, they're going to be all over the place. Maybe not in the best shape, but there's going to be a lot of them. So I know that's something that a lot of people complain about in DayZ, that there isn't enough diversity with the vehicles. So adding more vehicles into the game, but making them a little bit more difficult to build would be a nice balance. And I'm sure people wouldn't mind putting in the effort to actually working hard at their vehicles. There's a lot of vehicles in the game right now, but I think we could do with a little bit more diversity and a little bit more frequency in some of the smaller villages would be pretty cool. Overall, those were all of the new images that were added August 26th to the Trello. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What was your favorite new item that was actually updated for testing purposes? Again, there's no promises that these will make it to the experimental build, but all we know is they are in the game files, which means eventually down the road they will be making it to DayZ, and we should be excited for new features. So anyways guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Check out my live streams every single morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. A link to that is in the description box below.